The Bills are favored in every game.
Yes. Saw that. And some of them are pretty healthy.
Well, they would be.
Right.
I mean, you were one, like a lot of us yesterday, talking about how kind of easy it looks, the schedule. So New Orleans, I mean, for one, yeah, they'll be big favorites in a few of those games. And as we knew already before they put the order down, their biggest games are all home games. Their best opponents are 4 teams that all come to Buffalo. So favored every game. It happened 3 years ago. And as of now, anyway, that's the case. They are the largest division favorite. They are favored in every game upon the release of the schedule. I mean, it really, I think there's a certain closure that we're at right now. The draft is over. The schedule is out. And apart from a few mini camps, practices and things, it's going away for a while. Not even the NFL can manufacture too much more news between now and like July, at least July, so a couple months. And I think we're looking at what is the topic of the offseason going to be? I mean, it's really not going to be bogged down in did they need another receiver. I don't think that's going to be so.
Don't think so at all. Yeah,
much of a story that to Brandon Beane, it may sound like it, but I don't think we'll be just obsessed with that. I think it becomes like the 1 seed. And is it attainable? You would think it probably is. I mean, they've never had it, but it's something worth shooting for with their schedule, their odds, every bit of it, their history. Like they've won the division 5 years in a row. So I think it's the 1 seed and how important it is. That Chief. Well, there's 2. Then there's 2 home playoff losses in this 5-year stretch. The Bengals and then the Chiefs, which might make it less. Might bring up we might be less obsessed with it. Or less feeling like there's no other way through than to be at home throughout the playoffs.
I have felt for a long time. I don't think I felt this way 10 years ago, but I definitely feel this way now. The being home is fine. You'd rather be home than on the road, but the week off is the thing they've never had, right? So you lose to the Bengals, you lose to the Chiefs. And yes, they're both at home, and so you're not invincible at home. And I'm not. I don't know. I don't want to say it would be naive to think you'd be invincible at home, but pretty close to it. I mean, I just think you follow the league. It's not. You're playing a great team in the playoffs. Pretty much anything can happen. So, but the thing they've not had the benefit of is that week off, and the Chiefs have had it. Right? Were they? No, they wouldn't have been. They came here 2 years ago, so they really weren't the one. But last year, of course, they were. So they had the week off. I want the week off. I think, and so I don't know, obsessed, but it's absolutely a priority to me. Going, as we're transitioning from draft and schedule, like you said, to sort of the couple of months here between now and training camp. That the 1 seed is going to be on my mind as soon as the season is in the window.
It's the target, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it definitely should be.
It seems a little bit obnoxious, but the division it looks weak. So the Bills' goal can't. Well, I mean, I don't know about theirs, but I feel like talking about the AFC East only takes you so far, right? At this point. The other teams can talk about that.
Yeah, and if your schedule is, you can carve it up any way you want. 7 out of 10 on the road, 4 out of 5 within that stretch on the road. But if you've got the 5th easiest schedule and your travel isn't arduous and the time off is kind of a wash, right? I think they've got rest maybe in 4 games and maybe 5. The team coming in has more. It's not. There's no disadvantage there, really prominent anyway. So you've got this schedule, and especially the road schedule that doesn't look that tough. Yeah, I think you should be thinking absolutely about the 1 seed. You should be thinking about winning 13 games. I don't know if that'll be enough. Maybe you got to win 14. And I don't know that has to be out of the question with their schedule. I mean,
last year would have been 15.
Right. So But well, at least even to get a look at it, right? The Chiefs sat down in their last game too because they didn't need it. So
they were 15-1 going into that game.
Right. So we'll see how that all goes. Maybe the Chiefs, some of their luck runs out, and if they have a similar kind of season, I just think to me that is absolutely the thing that you can shoot for. Like, of course, nothing really matters till January, but how you position yourself for that is what the season is for. And I think at this point, it being, along with going to the Super Bowl, the thing they've not been able to pull off, that's what I'd be stunned if everybody over there isn't thinking about the 1 seed. Like, that's what we need to get to unlock this.
Well, it's one game at a time, though. I mean, you can't.
Sure, right.
You can't do that. I even think, like, the schedule has me really excited for the season because when you look at the Chiefs or the Ravens, there's just a lot more. I mean, they both come here, for one thing. There's just a lot more, challenges. It's just tougher than what the Bills face. At least that's how it looks. Like, I think of the Ravens. I mean, the Ravens have been as good or better than the Bills for this stretch of time, 4 or 5 years. They've been about the same. They've had Cincinnati in their division. The Bills have had Miami. Pittsburgh has been a playoff team. And even with that, Baltimore got to the 1 seed kind of easily 2 years ago. I look at their schedule, and last night I did this, and I thought, this of course is not like set in stone or anything, but I looked at their schedule and I thought, if they lose week 1, they'll never get the 1 seed. Like, it just to me looks like one loss to another one of the teams, and they play Kansas City away in week 4 also. Like, to get the 1, they better split those games at least, I think. They all play each other, and maybe the team, if there is one that sweeps the other 2, is the one. Because the Bills just do not have... This was Kansas City last year, in fairness. Like, they played the NFC South, and they got away with it, beating Carolina on a field goal on the last play. They didn't dominate a lot of those games, but division got better. That's true for Kansas City this year. Even the Raiders, I think, are a little bit interesting, if not good.
Yeah, there has to be... There has to be an advantage to having Miami, the Jets, and New England, and the Ravens having the Bengals. And even I'll leave it at the Bengals. I don't know about the Steelers this year. We'll see what they are. But you got to play the Bengals twice, and I don't have any of that. I mean, I'm not assuming you just sweep the division because of that, but it's just not as hard. So yeah, those head-to-head matchups, and you're right. I think the AFC West is a much harder-looking division than the AFC East.
And Baltimore has the NFC North. Detroit, Monday night, week 3. Chicago, week 8. At Minnesota, week 10. At Green Bay, week 17. There's probably your Peacock game. They didn't announce that, but Baltimore at Green Bay is pretty good. Week 17. Like, they've got that division too, as opposed to the Bills having the NFC South.
Right.
I mean, probably a big difference.
Should be. All that adds up to me to, it's not to me pie in the sky to be, just because the Bills haven't done it yet doesn't mean that it's just like you're forbidden from doing it or something. They should be shooting for that, and I think it's absolutely realistic with their schedule. And what everybody else is facing around them, mainly the Chiefs and the Ravens, like you just detailed.
They both have Detroit, the Ravens and the Chiefs, both at home, but they both have Detroit. Yeah, so we had the schedule. If you weren't with us yesterday, we had it for most of the day. So it's not like today is the big revelation.
Right.
Like we had it and had time to sit with it. Bills favored in every game, the 1 seed. I think and this would be my attitude about them, I think, this year more than ever, is the 1 seed in the AFC. I think if that's really what you make it to be about, then would you take 12 wins? Maybe not. 12-5 is going to win you the division. It could be good enough for the 1. the other teams with their schedules, maybe it is.
It is. I've always said 12 wins, even with 17 games, 12 wins is a great season. It might not be enough, though. I think that's right. I think you might need to get to 13 or who knows, even 14. And like we said, I mean, the Chiefs last year cruised, whatever. They were sitting on 15 and sat down in Week 18.
I would be tempted now to turn down the offer of 12 wins. Because if it's 10 or even 11, but if it's even 10, I still could end up in first place and close enough to where I'd be with 12. Maybe 12 is a second round home game and 10 isn't.
Mm-hmm.
But 10 is in, and it's maybe first place in this division, and okay. So I think I'd want to turn down 12, but that seems that seems almost obnoxious to do. That's kind of how I feel, though. I feel like they're just set up great, and the schedule a week or two after the draft takes my mind off what they didn't do in the draft. And the takeaway from the draft was mostly, plus free agency, how hard they went at loading up on defense and, also up front. And okay, I mean, people didn't criticize their draft. The only real pushback on any of it was whatever Brandon Beane perceived to be criticism about